This is interesting. They have a lead-in at CBS this morning commercial into something about football. They did an announcement this morning about some opening ceremony of Parliament, which I had never even heard of. I mean, I've heard the word Parliament. I just don't know what it looks like as a visualization, because again, it's construct, or it's the way that it fits into some larger system has never been presented in this area. Which again, I said it's like like the low level is I'm in Count of Queens. Then a little broader context, it's New York City. Little broader context, it's New York State. Little broader, it's New England. Little broader, it's within the 13 American colonies. Or it's within the American colonies, is how they presented it. Then even broader than that, it goes out to larger things. But then I don't know at what point it gets diluted into confusing for anything else. So this morning it starts with a GMC commercial. It says, "We are professional grade." And then it goes into a football thing, or a roast beef ball as I call it. And it says it's talking about Tom Brady. Then it meaning the coach, which I don't know the name, speaks of Nickelodeon, and then he mentioned something about, like, because I thought NFL was national America or American, but now they're expanding global. I'm like, oh boy. I'm like, all right, well, I couldn't understand how that all worked as an American project, but now they're saying that they're going global. I mean, they did mention, the only thing that they mentioned globally, though, that they were going to is Germany. I was like, all right, I'm listening. But it's still confusing. So this is how this looks from my perspective this morning.
GMC.
And again, this is what they have in this area.
This morning, we're excited to announce one of this NFL season's premier matchups in a rare game on Christmas Day, airing right here on CBS.
Again, I'm just looking for key op sounds and patterns. As far as these, if it really happens on Christmas Day, I would have no idea. But that Christmas thing is interesting. At Christ bearing.
Yes.
Where?
Right here on CBS, Gail. The Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams will host the new-look Denver Broncos and new quarterback Russell Wilson.
Yay.
And while it's a little early to make any projections,
Russell,
I can almost guarantee it, this game will have some playoff implications. And I will also be hosting a special Slime-filled, family-friendly broadcast of the game on Nickelodeon. I'll be in the booth for that, along with a few other Nickelodeon favorites. And we have NFL Today's Bill Cowher right here. Let me say it again. Hall of Fame coach Bill Cowher is joining us right now to talk about that game and what he's looking forward to in this NFL season. What's going on, Coach? How you doing?
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
I got to tell you, the Nickelodeon game that you guys have put on at Thanksgiving and this year on Christmas has been unbelievable. And you're talking about entertaining and educating the young people.
Yeah.
You simplify the game,
Yeah.
you make it fun, and that's the best message you can give to the little people. I know my grandkids watch it, and we're looking forward to seeing it on Christmas Day.
Hey, I was going to ask you about that. I don't even need to talk about that. But let's talk about the game, though.
Yeah.
You have the Los Angeles Rams coming off of a Super Bowl.
Question.
Russell Wilson, how about that trade in the offseason? He is now the quarterback for the Denver Broncos. What do you think about that game?
Well, number one, you think about the last time the Denver Broncos won a championship. What did they do? They went out and got a veteran quarterback who had won a Super Bowl.
Yep.
That was Peyton Manning,
That's
right?
right.
So now all of a sudden you go to Seattle, a veteran quarterback who's won a Super Bowl. They've been looking for that quarterback coming into a division now.
These are a lot of words. I'm like, all right, hold on a second. I got to think about this. So you pick up a veteran quarterback. That's that position that Brady plays. And then now you go into something called a division. Like, you guys got to speak slower. Like, we weren't following along. I mean, I want to follow along and, like, understand it, but, like, whoa, steady as she goes. Again, more stuff that they don't teach in elementary school. I don't know how we're supposed to grow into, like, active participants and, like, following along with this level of intellect and keeping up with the language portion of it.
Put him in there with Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Derek Carr. That the AFC West is.
It's he's at a pace in speech because he just knows it so well. It's so ingrained in his, like, every neuron that it feels like the micro machine guy, the one that had, like, the mini Hot Wheels as kids that went on, like, that local broadcast where he'd speak like an auctioneer a mile a minute. I have to use the pause button without the taping and the pause feature because I have to digest this. This just doesn't come naturally. I know the people in it. They've grown up in it. They grew up around the rules of the game. They know their construct of what a coach looks like, what it does. For me, I've seen movies where they actually show it in action. And again, it's like that romantic, like, I want that to be what a coach looks like. I don't have any in my real life. It's really pathetic around here.
Is loaded this year, and that game's going to be ideal. We'll see where he is in December.
Yeah.
See how much he understands, and he's in flow with that offense. But the Rams looking to repeat. Cooper Kupp, Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, a lot of slime will be thrown around that game.
You're right about that.
What's going on with Tom Brady? Coming out of retirement now, I mean, approaching
After
his
40-some days.
approaching his mid-40s, right? I mean, he's getting up there in age. How impressed are you that he was able to keep his body together to perform at a near MVP level?
And were you surprised that he came back so quickly?
Well, you know what, Gail? I think at the end of the season, I think he did what a lot of people should do, is take a step back. I think that we need more of a little bit of a time frame to sit back, to reflect, to put a perspective on it that's not just coming off of a 4-month season. And I think when you look at Tom Brady, the fact that last year he led the league in yards, led the league in touchdowns. He was only sacked 22 times, probably playing as good as he's ever played. They put another group of people around him that he hasn't lost anybody. They're still the best team in their division. Why not come back? So you think about this right
Because
now.
your wife doesn't want you to.
You know what? I think after after 4 weeks, he said he's coming back. His wife probably said, "Go back."
After him hearing Honey do the dishes, he was like, you know what, I'm going to go throw this football around real quick.
And what about the NFL going to Germany?
The NFL is
Deal?
going overseas. I think when they added 17 games, part of that
It's
process.
Tom Brady and the
Yeah,
Buccaneers.
they're going to Germany.
Yeah,
The next 4 years, they're going to play 2 in Frankfurt and 2 in Munich. But they're going overseas a lot, going to Mexico City this year for a regular season game. So I think when you have that 17th game, a chance to expand the National Football League globally is a lot part of what the idea was when they did that. And I think one of my takeaways in this year, I was to say this, when you think about the last 2 Super Bowls, Tom Brady,
Yep.
icon in New England,
Yep.
goes down to Tampa Bay,
Yep.
wins a Super Bowl. Last year, Matthew Stafford, icon in Detroit, goes to the Rams,
Yeah.
wins a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Who is this year's? I'm going to make a
Ooh.
prediction right here.
Okay.
How about Matt Ryan? Going from Atlanta, going to Indianapolis,
To the Colts.
with Jonathan Taylor and Frank Wright. What have they been looking for the last 2 years? Or the defense that's intact? Could this be 3 consecutive years? You know how the league is kind of a copycat league. Could this be the next one?
I don't
I
think
like
so.
that. All right, well, listen, we have to go. But speaking about retirement, will we ever see you coach again?
I coach every Sunday, Nate. I haven't lost a game in 16 years.
But what do you think about it? That's a
They're
fair
handing out some big
question,
checks around here,
Nate. That's a
man.
fair question.
No. You know what? I really love the platform we have at CBS. We have some of the best games in the world, but CBS right now is loaded with great quarterbacks. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, the AFC West.
All right.
And you know what? Working with this guy every Sunday, and with
It is a
Nate,
pleasure.
It
I
is
have
a
to say,
Boomer, Phil,
it's a
and
lovely thing.
JB. We have got a great group, great chemistry, and I enjoy going to work every Sunday.
We feel the
Keep
same.
going, Coach. All right, here, Kyle, we appreciate you, man. Can't wait to work with you on Sundays once the season starts. The full 2022 NFL schedule will be revealed this Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern on the NFL Network and Paramount Plus. Up next, another star football player from high school, Vlad Dutre. He's going to have some stories that you'll be talking about today in just a bit. But first, it's 7:44. Time to check
I
the
hear
board.
Vlad laughing in the green room.
So that's all I get to see on the one level of communication. Because again, they're not putting pictures of football NFL stars in the local free paper. They're not putting whatever they do when they're not playing football. They don't, in like a GMC kind of a way, there's no cross or hybrid communication whatsoever. So this gets really confusing in star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza. That's why I've said before, it's like being blind, deaf, and dumbed. That's how I feel. I feel like somebody dropped the ball and then just left equipment out on the field. I mean, it's so frustrating. It's I think it's May 10th, 2022. And it's Earth, Solar System, Milky Way, Universe, Galaxy is broken. And it's Bayside Station, Bayside, New York, 11361.